Welcome back, everybody, to another round of CRF1. Today, it's round number 3 on the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada, which is starting out with qualifying in the rain. Very good sight to see, very good sight to see. With me today, sadly not Fridge, our commentator in Tier 1 is, just doesn't have the time today. Of course, he will be sadly missed for this race, but we have Tier 3 commentator and senior staff Daredevil.
Hello, everybody. I just want to say it's a pleasure to be here, and I have a lot to live up to, considering I'm replacing Fritz. So I'll do my best.
Yeah. From the races we've had so far on Canada, only Tier 2 so far. Wasn't streamed yesterday, sadly, because we had no commentary available, no commentator available. We expect the race though to be quite chaotic. We had a good amount of upsets yesterday in the race, like, for example, Swifty not finishing in the top 3, but also Fridge being in outside of the top 10, so not gaining those crucial points. But yeah, like I said, we have a rainy qualifying. A really rainy qualifying.
Probably only Intus.
It could be Intus, or from what it kind of looks like, it might actually just be soft still. It could be a little bit of a greasy track, but that doesn't mean that it is.
The Red Bull going out on Intus. So it is confirmed to be Intus if we can cut to the Red Bull soon.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, no, the other Red Bull are on the soft, I just saw.
Yeah, you know what? Let us do this.
Yeah,
We got Dave Raptors on softs. So he thinks that the track isn't wet, it's just greasy. There's a little bit of spray, but that can still just mean something, but not everything here. We got somebody in the chat, N842 Racing, saying, let's go Parker. Yes, indeed. Parker does need a good result again. I think last race he didn't do too badly. Outside of the fact that in turn 1, I think he did actually DNF due to a manual retirement. I will pull up the race results because they have changed now after penalties have been given out. So last race was won on track by Josh Rose, and he has now moved down to P3 due to a 5-second time penalty, including 2 penalty points as well. New race winner is Chicken, and Bran has moved up another spot on the podium, so that means the top 3 are now Chicken, Bran, and Josh Rose. The other penalties, the top 10 have been Hydra Leo, Cons, Mikas, Ghosts, Hydra, Rambo, and F50 in the 10th spot. As we are going on a lap with Magix, and I think Daredevil could take it away as he has more experience on the track as me right now.
As we're going through turn 2, I don't have some experience in the wet because we had a full dry race, but I'll do my best. As turn 3 and 4 being incredibly fast, down to probably 5th gear normally. Easy to hit the wall and slide out because you can't have to nick the grass. Then into another chicane. This track is filled with them. More grip than you expect on this exit of corner compared to previous games, but again, that is only in the dry. Don't have any experience in the wet. Now into yet another chicane. Easy to get a track limit here on the second apex. Into now the run into the hairpin. Heavy braking zone, further second gear, depends on what you're comfortable with. And the exit of this corner is so important as it goes on to the back straight, a very long straight. So that is into a very tricky final chicane. The Wall of Champions, which easy to get track limits on. I'm expecting to see a lot of track limits in the race, maybe some invalidations during qualifying, as he just did, sadly.
Yeah, so
but this lap would have been a 17-1.
Already quite an okay performance considering that it's wet. Who are we able to go on board with? Let us go over with the current championship leader, Josh Rose. He's going over the line, completing his lap as a 1:16.8 is now the benchmark lap for everybody else to catch up on. Let us see. Lufu seems to be getting blocked on his quali lap by a Haas. Question is he going to move? Yep, no, he is 100% blocked by the Haas. Not a good look from that front. Of course, now he's trying to take all the slipstream he can.
The
It's
Haas
a weird way.
waiting a bit.
They seem like they're fighting. Oh, Hydra. No, who? Okay, no, they are actually both on hot laps, and Lufu just caught up. So, not actually blocking anything. We will see in one lap after another being punched into the timetables here. 1D setting a 28.8, probably just a little mishap on his lap, or it's just a preparation lap. Josh Rose still on top of the timing tables. Hops now moving into second place with a 17.3. Mika's going in with a 17.8. So far, we see the main championship contenders mostly in the front. We got Modern Chicken in third position. We got Josh Rose in in first. Let me actually quickly look and tell you guys about the standings, because I do think we got some shifts in there. Yeah, so Chicken basically from 0 points, if I'm not, no, sorry, from 4 points, has now moved up into P2 with 24 points, and Josh Rose closely in P1 with 33 points. So we have a championship fight going on between two people we haven't expected to see in the front, because Hops is currently in P8 and Mikas is in P3, only 1 point below Chicken. But this race could turn out quite interesting. We still got a couple of laps getting punched in. Let us go on board with somebody who hasn't had a lap. Let's see Dave Raptors, who started out on the soft tire, struggles from the exit of turn 2. Goes through the turn 3 and 4 chicane.
Taps the wall slightly.
Yeah, no, he is not happy with the cars this moment. Question, of course, also is the race going to be wet? Are people going to apply some wet setups as he's going wide and he aborts his lap? His first lap is aborted.
If the race were to be dry and they're going for dry setups, that could explain Dave's struggle in the wet.
Yeah, that could do explain that. We got Bran on a lap. Now exiting the hairpin, going on to the really long straight. Great opportunity for overtakes. But also not quite as much at the same time. The straight has a hairpin before, which means accelerating is still the main factor for making overtakes stick on that straight. But we see Bran now moving over the line, puts in a 16.9. That puts him in P2. We got Modern Chicken, who also moved up his time a little bit. Some people go for the good old dual lap and then go back into the pits, but a lot of them actually are still on track, just driving one lap after another, as it is quite custom with the Inter tires. Parker puts in a beautiful 16.9 now. The track seems to be improving, even if it's just a slight bit.
That's the thing with rain. It always changes, so it could always keep getting track constantly getting either worse or better, and we don't know as commentators. Only the drivers know that. So we can only base if the track's getting better or worse based on the times they're setting.
Yeah, Senior
Ghost, that's a 16.7.
Yeah, Senior Ghost's now setting the benchmark lap for everybody else to reach. The 16.788 is on the board, and so far nobody seems to be close to beating it. The rain could either worsen or it could get better over time. So at this very moment, it does just matter to put in a lap yourself and just have a lap on the board, because that would still mean if it's an 18, you could still end up in the front. If it's not, it's kind of sad. 1D is 10 seconds up on his time, as to be expected by his 128 lap that he set first. But what is he going to be capable of doing at the finish line? Is he going to struggle a bit right now? If it's a 10-second gap, he would put in an 118. But then again, the last sector is the important one. He's going to put in the banker lap. And his first actual proper lap on the board is going to be a 1:16.6. We have 1D on provisional pole right now. He has beaten Senior Ghost's time. Quite a nice time indeed. But it seems like the track is going to get better and better. We got a 2/10 improvement by Chicken on the pole lap that was set right beforehand. Let's go on board with Park. Nope, he has invalidated. David Raptors also a 17.0. Good little lap from him. As we now have the championship favorite next to Hobbs. Mikas on a lap.
The track is definitely improving this session clearly, with 16.4 now being possible. I want to quickly get into the 15s by the end of it.
I'm expecting 15 to be there as well. Mikas already with a 6/10 improvement would only put him around the P7, P8 area at this moment in time, so it's an improvement, but not the improvement that he might want to have to get back into the championship fight with the points being distributed this race. There's a 10-point gap between him and Josh Rose, who's in P1 in the standings right now. Takes a lot of curb, a lot of speed through the chicane, goes over the finish line, but what time will it be? It is a 16, it is a 16.97. It's putting him P3 currently. Still not the place where he wants to be. He would want to be P1 ideally. We got Higher Leo being blocking in the pit lane and getting disqualified because of it. That was not ideal. People should know that. Oh, Jalmer as well. We got Jalmer and Higher Leo being disqualified from standing in the pit lane. He was blocking in the pit lane.
I think Hydro Leo was just giving space to make it because he didn't know that Mikas was finishing a lap.
Yeah,
so both
he
him
definitely
and
did.
Ferrari ahead of him were just giving space in the pit lane to make sure Mikas didn't get blocked.
He definitely did. We might be able to get some insight into what he was saying. What he's gonna say. Now, he just mentioned Jelmer and said nice, because both of them got disqualified for blocking in the pit lane. So that means there's 2 positions less up for grabs. But those positions are at the bottom where everybody doesn't want to be anyway. We got some improvements on laps currently. Let us see what is F50 able to do. He set a 16.8, so let's go over to somebody else. He's starting a lap. You know what? Let's go over on board with Bran, who is currently in P7 with a 16.9. Josh Rose has taken pole by 0.2 on Chicken's timer yet again. This qualifying session can literally be anywhere, with everybody just moving on to doing one lap after another instead of just pitting, going for laps, pitting, going for laps.
I can confirm in the behind the scenes that Jelmer was just trying to let cars by who were on a lap.
Yeah, sadly that is something we cannot help with. That is usually good behavior by the game, but in this case it isn't. Bran invalidated his qualifying lap this time. Sub gets coaching from an esports driver. Let us see what he's able to do on his lap. He lets other people pass.
He finished his lap before.
Yeah, he might have. He might have. Let's see.
As it said, already 1.1 seconds up.
Cons, though. The biggest upset right now in P15 is on a lap. We got somebody asking for an invite. I'm gonna be nice enough one time to actually give the invite to Sausage Joe, who should be in the bottom of my friends list. I got a ton of friends in my list, to the point where I have 2 pages in the lobby. But yeah, purple sector,
so far.
4/10 up, but a purple sector it says. So right now, with the 4/10 that he's up, he would actually gain either P8 or P9. Or, no, sorry, he would either gain P9 or P10. Or P11. Depends on what his end time is going to be as he's going to cross the line. He is on the last straight. DRS, of course, not opening up because the rain is falling down the skies. He is going over the line, puts it P4. Nice little lap by Cons there. But we still got 5 more minutes in this qualifying session to go. We got quite a ruckus out here with a lot of people out, with a lot of people driving.
Quite a stacked track right now. Which could be issues with traffic if people on laps are behind people who aren't.
Yeah.
So it goes caught in the first apex of that chicane quite a lot. You can really cut the corners in this track.
Yeah.
But he's not on a fast lap.
Ghosts just chilling, moving around the track, maybe warming up the tires. We are not able to know that for sure at this moment. Let's see, Lufu is on a no, Lufu is 7/10 down as well. Wandy though just started his lap. Currently in P6, looking good so far. Aston Martin in general this season have been quite okay. Wandy more so in qualifying than in the races though.
You have a strong lineup in Tier 1, I feel.
In Tier 1, the lineup for Aston Martin is strong. He's 2/10 up on his time, which currently would put him into the P4 spot above his teammate. Question is he going to be able to carry that pace throughout the last 2 turns of the track, which is the legendary chicane at the Wall of Champions? But of course,
easy to invalidate on this chicane.
It's easy to invalidate. He
And
did
does.
do so. What lap time would he have gotten? Would it have been pole? It would have been P3 for Wandy. He does seem to have pace at least. Let's see, Bran has invalidated his lap. We got Sub out on a lap, 2/10 up already. Seems to be way more confident. Now the only thing that he needs to get sorted is his racecraft. As that has been...
before that Sub was not liking this track before the race started.
Yeah.
A lot of complaints coming from him.
Let us see. Doesn't cut into the curbs as much as he could. Does a fine job though, nonetheless. Let's see how much he's up.
And he's down.
He's actually up by quite a lot, just in the wrong direction. As it is going to be another lap gone for him. Dave Raptors is going into the pits. Senor Ghost has invalidated his lap already. But we got Ondra, who is returning for a nice little reserve job today.
2/10 up so far.
The Haas outfit replacing John for today. So far, the gap in qualifying has only been a second. Extremely competitive. It's a matter of hundreds or even tenths.
This type of competitiveness is what you want to see. It makes the race so much more exciting.
I mean, if you want to just compare gaps, look at the gap between P7 and P8. Literally a thousandth of a second.
Yeah. This season, the gaps on this game, even though people are complaining about it, the gaps seem to be slightly closer between a lot of drivers.
Yeah, the gaps have closed down. The top end of the people on this game is way tighter. The performance ceiling of the game is a bit lower when it comes to how fast people are. Ondra putting in a nice little 16.7 on his return. Seems to like the wet conditions quite a lot. Ghosts now though.
As you mentioned, the 1000s between P7 and P4.
Yeah.
He was only 1000 off of Lufu.
Lufu
with that lap.
Lufu looking quite strong as well. We got another lap going, and at 50 goes for the 16.1. Ghost invalidates his lap. This qualifying has now been turned upside down with somebody that we should not expect a lot of times on the top step for the race start. Magic's coming in. Magic's having so far Magic's has had horrible performances, but now he puts it onto P2 right behind a 50. This tier is still open for everyone. We got a huge group of cars behind Sausage Joe, all on outlaps. They all want to get that last bit of track to get the last lap in. They will be making it at least, unless
it's quite clear that the track's improving quite a lot.
Yeah, the track is improving drastically on these intermediate tires. Question is, who is going to be making it over the line in a good position to go for another lap? There is a gaggle of cars in front of them, but of course the dirty air is going to disrupt them, and there are going to be some mistakes happening. So who is going to pull the trigger and goes for the first lap and actually makes it over the line? Who is going to create gaps? Who is going to overtake now? There is no gentleman's agreement in this league, so we are sure to be expecting some driver maybe doing something. Sausage Joe goes in. Let's go on board though with Mikas in P11, who is going to be on a lap now. Starts it out right now. We see him take turn 1 quite nicely. Try to stay as close to turn 2 as possible. Swing out wide to get as much acceleration as possible. Seems to struggle with traction. Doesn't seem to be an issue in general for him though. Throws it quite comfortably into turn 3 and 4. But now another tricky chicane. You want to touch the curb as much as possible to get a good amount of rotation into the car, but not too much to the point where when you get onto the throttle, you are spinning, because you're able to spin out quite easily on that part. Now, of course, the big track cuts of this qualifying. You need to cut the track quite a lot going into the hairpin now. Takes it a bit wider, but looks like he's got a nice little exit there. As we are starting to move over to the chicane at the Wall of Champions now. Senor Ghost puts in a 15.9, so this qualifying is still not over for anyone. The time has been set on the table now.
Bran, 16 flat.
Bran with a 16 flat. Of course, now we got my game just tabbing out randomly. Thank you for that.
Smith set a 16.2. Not that great
Yeah.
of a lap, actually.
Parker goes pole
58.
position. Magix has his lap invalidated. Wandy is still on a lap. No, he is
No, he
not. He
isn't.
has aborted his lap. Josh Rose now over the line. Gets P3. Let's see. Is Hobbs doing anything? No, Hobbs is going into the pit lane. Dave Raptor's still on his lap. Is he able to deter the front two? Is he going to be putting in a 15? No, he's still in the 16s, but he's still got an improvement of 2/10. So this is qualifying over.
As yeah, Wandy is the last driver, and he is not on the lap.
Yeah, let me quickly, in the meantime, tab out and put you volume up a little bit louder. Let me put you up to 170%. So we are able to go into a race with quite a nice volume on your end. But yeah, no, this is qualifying over. We are now just waiting for them to be in the pit lane, and it's done. We've got our lineup for the grid of the race right at this very moment. P1 is Parker with a 15.877. Quite a good lap from him. We got Senior Ghost closely behind, also at 15, but only about 500ths slower. And then Josh Rose behind him with another 100th to go. Following that is F50 in P4, Brad in P5, P6 with Magix, Mikas in P7, 1D in P8, Lufu in P9, and Modern Chicken in P10. Closely followed behind that is Cons, Dave Raptor, Sausage Joe, Hobbs, Sub, Meowslayer, Ondra, Hydra Leo, and of course Jalmer. Both of those last two have been disqualified for just standing around in the pit lane. The race is sunny.
I was like quite a surprising qualifying with Cons down in P11 and a 50 up in P4.
Yeah, even just the fact that a 50 has put in a lap to even get him provisional pole at this stage of the qualifying was surprising. But a 50 in P4 is a good shout for him. Of course, the pole position by Parker was a huge surprise, because we usually see Parker in the midfield, but not at the top of the table. But now he is. Is he going to be able to keep that lead? Is he going to be able to put that into a win? Or is he going to struggle in the race now that is happening on dry tires?
Yeah, I would assume that most of the drivers have gone for a dry setup in quali because of the race being dry.
Yeah, that is something that sounds quite normal, as we are waiting now for everybody to pick their setups, pick their strategies, pick their fuel, and go racing. Meanwhile, I'm having a little sip of my energy drink. Nicely refreshed. It's time. Round number 3, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. CRF1, the fastest of the fastest. Yeah, as we're waiting now to go on to the start of the race. So far, no time ticking down. We're still waiting for each and every single one of them to ready up and do their thing.
I can confirm that not a single person has readied up yet. As looking at somebody else's stream, I don't see a timer.
Yeah, no, I don't see a timer either. I mean, I'd never see a timer. Let us see when someone will start it. Seems like all of them really are quite deeply invested into making their setups right,
Yes.
doing it correctly. In the meantime, let me quickly actually just swap over to the Tier 1 Discord, so maybe we can get some live reactions from some of the drivers if they DNF or if there's any issues. Yeah, we already got some things in by F50. F50 saying, damn, that might be one of my best qualies, and sure as hell, we can confirm that.
Yeah, 50 asking when they're readying up, because the previous race director Jack, who would always say ready up, is
Yeah.
not racing anymore.
Yeah, but sometimes they just did it.
Yeah, as the timer is now going down.
Timer is going down, and we are hearing the last couple of beeps before the race is going to start. 2, 1, 0. As we are now moving on to the grid, we got the strategies down there, but of course, 4 lights up, 5 lights up. as it is now go for the Canadian Grand Prix. Parker getting quite a good start ahead of Ghosts. Some kerfuffle in the back is already happening. We got some driver swaps. Parker taking the good line and, of course, sending it down into turn 1. Gets the position that he still had from pole position. I'm talking something else today. Race starting out quite good for Parker here. We got a lot of fighting in the back. We got some side-by-side action between Mikas and Wandy. Wandy, of course, not letting go of the position. He really wants it, and he gets it done. We got some other cars in the back having problems. Oh, and we got a huge crash!
Jelmer is out.
Jelmer is out, and Sub is gone off with him. That's a safety car on lap 1 of the Canadian Grand Prix. Sub has lost his wing. Jelmer is done and dusted. Jelmer can pack up his boots and go for now. That will be an issue that will definitely be investigated afterwards. What a performance today. We got a disqualification into a DNF. Thanks, Swifty, for saying that in there. That's a good line, dude. No, that was, whatever that was.
It was not ideal for the two drivers, let's put it that simply.
Yeah, but that, of course, puts Parker into a really good position now, as there will be no fighting going on for the next couple of laps. He can extend his lead after the safety car. Each and every single one of them now can cool their tires, can prolong their strategy. As I'm talking about strategy, we got a couple of people going in. We got Sausage Joe, Modern Chicken, Ondra, Meowslayer, and Subby in the pit lane. Subby, of course, with his wing damage.
I'm getting 10 seconds as well for speeding.
10 seconds as well for speeding is not a good look. Not a good look. Penalties, yeah, Sub has a 10-second time penalty. Seems like he is not confident on the brakes whilst having no wing, as we are going on board with the tires that everybody has equipped. So currently, we got most of them on mediums. We got Bran on a hard tire compound, together with Lufu, Hops, Dave Raptors, and of course now with the people that have boxed, Chicken is on a hard tire, and Sausage Joe. The rest of them are all on mediums. So what strategy will prevail? This safety car, this early safety car, is definitely not something good for the hard runners, as the mediums will extend their pace a little bit, and therefore the hards are not going to have that pace advantage over a longer period of time. Safety car in the middle would be good for the medium runners. A safety car at the end is extremely good for the hard runners.
I will also say that the hard, they can make it from this point in the race. They can make the entire race.
Yeah, so it might be worth for the people that just now pitted to just keep put on the hards, keep it that way, keep pace, do their thing.
As Chicken might be on for a decent strategy here if you can make the hards last. As we experienced in Tier 2, even though it wasn't side on stream, hards can basically make the entire race.
Yeah, entire race on one set of tires. 35 laps on the hard tires is definitely a top ask.
Ooh, as there's almost some rear ending going on into the chicane.
Yeah, and that under the safety car, guys. You guys gotta stay a little bit safer. We already got a nice little clip sent in by Jelmer, showing us what happened. I'm not going to look at it, as I will bug out the safety car if I do. Well, actually, quite interested, so I'm going to do it on my phone quickly, whilst I am still going to look at everything that is happening on the track. Let us go back on board with Parker and give us the nice guarantee that he is not going to do an illegal start. We do not accept any fake restart of any form, so the telemetry will be turned on in a second. Like I said, I'm going to quickly look at the clip whilst I can.
Ooh, I've just seen the clip.
Let us see, let us see. Okay. Sub got tapped, and then Sub has taken out Jelmer, it seems. That's at least what it looks like on the first glance. Of course, when it's reported by the stewards, it's gonna get a deeper look into it by every single steward, including me, and of course our good old Fridge that's usually commentating this. So far, no message of the safety car coming in. As Sub is 11 seconds away. What has happened to Sub? Sub is
He has served his penalty.
Ah, good thing he did. Safety car is coming in this lap. Not ideal for Sub, though. Is he able to get that gap back? We got Sausage Joe still with a penalty.
He should get the gap back. He is right behind them.
Yeah, he should.
And the pack will slow down a lot.
Slow down right before. Let us go on board with Parker, though. We need to see the restart, if it's going to be a good restart. He's raising his throttle a little bit, and he's going off. He's going off. The race is now restarted. Goes right close on his tail. Does he make a dive for it in turn 1? No, he does not. Pace is now going to be upped by a lot. Sub is setting the fastest lap of the race. Seems like he's speeded up a bit under the safety car. We still got some good action. Everything stays the way it is, though, for the first 2 turns. Nothing going out, nothing going badly so far. The gaps are quite close. We see Wandy being side by side with Magix. Losing out on that battle, though. Mikas is going to be on the attack now with the exit that Wandy has had. That was a bit worse than Magix. Mikas looking down the inside, maybe for the breaking point, maybe just to be sure that everything is going correctly there. This time, everybody gets through cleanly in one singular lap. Of course, we got the safety car graphic in the top left corner still, but no, the track is green. We got some bumping going on. Lufu now being ghosted. Yeah, just Constant needs to make sure that he doesn't overtake Lufu through himself to have the maximum effect of the slipstream. They're going side by side into the chicane for the Wall of Champions, and it's going well. Cons has made the move stick. What a good move by him. Parker setting the fastest lap now with an 11.7. We got some fighting in the back, though, between Hops and Hyder Leo. Hyder Leo is going to make that dive. Is he going to send it around the outside? Yes, he is. He's going to get the better traction. Is he going to be able to make that move stick? So far, it seems like a maybe, because they're still side by side going into turn 3, but Hops is winning out that battle. Nice little fighting we've seen from Hops so far. Hops needs to make up some positions to get into this race again, to get into the championship, to get the points that he needs to go onto the top step at the end of the season. Wow.
Actually, there seems to have been a break in the DRS at top end, with 50 being outside the 1 second to Josh Rose.
Yeah, already having that part is not too good. Grabs the inside line, Hydra does. Breaks into the hairpin. They're all so close to one another.
Bumping each other's rears, like with the concertina effect that's happening.
Yeah, I think what we have... Oh, we have an overtake by Bran on a 50. That has happened in the meantime. They have officially
lost DRS.
Yeah, they have lost DRS. What else do we have? So far, nothing. Josh Rose now setting the fastest lap of the race. They're all so close to each other. We have the top 3 in a league of their own again. But this time, Ghosts is in front. He did make an overtake. But of course, in these early stages, it's mostly just trading the DRS to make sure that they are able to pull away. Josh Rose now opening up the gap in the wrong direction, and therefore allowing Bran also to get DRS again. So we got a full DRS train up to P18. Somehow Sub has dropped back massively again. Let us see, is his wing broken? Yes, he has some wing damage yet again. What has happened to Sub again?
By it being the right emblem, I would assume he has hit the Wall of Champions.
Yeah, not a good look for him. Was quite okay in qualifying, but then not so good in the race. Ghost, though, still on top of the timetable as of this moment. But Parker will have his DRS flap opened up. Does he make the move stick? He does make the move stick. He goes safely into P1. Of course, now...
There's a fighting behind. There's side behind the chicane.
Mikas and Magic's going side by side into the chicane. Mikas getting a better exit, though. Mikas moving on faster. Now Magix is just going to get taken away by all of them. They go 3 wide. This is not going well. Wandy in the wall.
Wandy has crashed.
Wandy is in the wall. He's on the grass, and he's just lost out of this position again. Like I said, qualifying good. In the races, everything is going worse for him. And he's now back into P18. The only person that he hasn't been gapped by is Sub, who has front wing damage himself. We don't know how much. An end plate could mean something, but on the own display and on the downfall side of things, it is going to be different.
I think Wandy has lost a huge amount of his right wing. I think he's actually lost a couple of elements as well, so that'll be huge damage for him.
Yeah, of course. Not looking good for Wandy. We got a couple of gaps opening up. Mikas and F50 being 1 second apart from one another, and F50 to Bran is also 1.8 seconds. So F50 definitely was better in qualifying compared to the race. Is he going to be able to keep those positions till the end of the race? It's not looking good for him so far, as we got another lead change in the front, of course, on the straight here. So it probably was not really a fight, as the overtake was done before even approaching the chicane. We got Cons going in. What is Cons doing? Does he have some damage? Is the damage not looking good? Let's see. Is his front wing getting replaced? Yes, it is.
It is.
Seems like he has sustained some damage in that little 4 wide moment that we
I just
had.
caught a glimpse of him missing his right end plate as the wing was getting carried away.
Yeah, Wandy, of course, also getting into the pit lanes. So we got some people going into the pits. Let us quickly look at the tire. Yeah, they're going onto hard tires, so they will probably go until the end, unless there is a late safety car where they might pull out with some soft tires. When the hards last that long, the softs might as well do too, right? So,
Not always the case in this game, sadly.
we got some position changes, of course. We got Hyder Leo making up 10 positions. Really strong start to his race. And then, of course, we got people like Wandy and Cons really losing out right now. As of this moment, of course, strategy can make it work over time. Cons will have his full pace back as of this moment. Same with Wandy. But they are quite far away from one another, so we will be able to see something. Sub now getting another 3-second time penalty onto his other penalties that he's received so far for cutting the track. What a race this has been so far.
Yeah, it's been quite exciting. A lot of chaos with the 3 wide going quite badly a few laps ago.
We got a little fight though. We got Mikas fighting at 50. He really wants to get past, and Magix wants to say, hey, I want to do that too. Please let me by. At 50 really seeming to struggle on this track in the dries. In qualifying he was alright. He was doing good in qualifying. But now it's race pace, and that's something that he does not seem to supply onto the track right now.
Advantage in the wet, given he's a controller, because wet controllers
Control
tend to get better traction because
Control
of
the
the
grip.
rumble getting
Yeah.
triggered.
Yeah. Now, in general, the game is programmed more for controllers, so that means people on controller do have a little bit of a track advantage. That is also one of the reasons why there is a little bit of controversy with that Joy to Key thing, as we have F50 going down the inside. Now, Lufu tried to get past. We got a fight now for P9, though. Hops having Hyder Leo on his tail. Both of them getting DRS, though, from the train. Lufu being really close to F50. That's the wrong direction. We need to go on board with him. Making that move stick, though. Magix now has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Somebody
As
went
Mikas
into the
is
pits. Mikas is boxing? Does he have damage? Does Mikas have damage?
No.
No.
This is
It's
just a
literally
normal
a
pit
tire
stop.
swap. He does an early tire stop. He wants to clean air. He wants to get out in front of everybody else, doing the biggest undercut in the world, as we have Magix now moving down. He spun into the wall. Was it by accident or was it by contact?
That is an important question.
Yeah.
But I guess we won't find out until the stewards after the race.
So luckily, no safety car out now, so the strategies are still going to be important for this race, as Magix is now probably going to retire into the pits, as there's a lot of elements missing on his front wing. All the flaps on top of it are missing. But we're gonna get some action again, as we got the front 4, yes, front 4, not front 3 anymore, going down the long straight. Of course, people also have to watch out for the pit lane. Yesterday, we had a little bit of an incident where somebody wanted to go into the pit lane and just went straight into somebody else.
It's
Kiara
quite
just-
tricky pit entry.
Yeah,
when you're
it's-
close to the cars.
Yeah, Kiara taking out Fridge yesterday in the CRF2 race.
As
We
you have
got
Naga boxing, Hyder Leo
Hyder
is
Leo
boxing.
boxing now. Let us see
Two L
some of the
teams.
tires. Mick is choosing to go onto the hards, obviously. What is Hyder Leo going to go onto? He goes from mediums, probably onto hards. Magix is now pitting as well. From his damage, it was expected.
Now, I don't think this is quite that early of a stop, as halves they last an age, while the other tires they tend to not last quite as long comparatively.
Yeah, tires on every track are quite different. I think these are actually the harder compounds of tires, so that makes sense in the long run. But of course now we got Parker following Josh Rose. Parker being in the top 4 is actually really surprising. F50 now getting overtaken by Hobbs, so that means Hobbs needs to make up 6 seconds towards the front group to actually be able to do something in this race.
I can
Look-
tell you one team who's going to be happy right now, and that's definitely Josh with how Parker is performing.
Yeah, no, Josh and Parker looking good. Chicken already after his pit stop back up into P10, also looking really good for the Mercedes TP Josh.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, P2 and P10, good haul of points, but not enough.
But as we gotta consider, Parker, he boxed very early. He's already done his one stop. No, I mean, Modern Chicken has.
Modern Chicken does have his stop done. We see everybody stops now. Sub having to box twice. Not a good look from him so far, to be fair. But everybody from the top 9 onwards still having to go into the pit lane to do their mandatory stop onto a different tire compound. So you either have to go from the medium to the hard to the medium, or of course soft to medium, medium to soft, soft to hard, hard to soft. It's also possible. There is one mandatory tire compound change required by the race, and Hobbs doesn't seem to really get the note that he needs to up his pace, as he is falling behind.
Maybe he just doesn't have the pace around this track, as a lot of drivers seem to be very track dependent with what they're good at.
Let's see, on board now with Josh Rose, who's in P1. Quite a few car lengths away from the others. We got Brando going for an overtake on Senior Ghosts. Does he make it stick into the chicane? He does seem to make it, but they are side by side afterwards. Ghost really struggling on the exit there, but Brand picking up that spot quite convincingly afterwards. We got Hobbs. No, we got F50 pitting now. F50 seems like he thinks that those tires are dead. They're done and dusted. They need to come off. This now, really crucial for the people in front. They need to get out of the DRS range from the people behind. So Parker and Josh Rose could now make sure that there won't be any DRS for the cars behind them.
Not quite, sadly, as there's still a Brand caught back up in the chicane.
Yeah, seems like some points there are some pace differences. Josh Rose, though, so far, making a really good job of it so far. Of course, we can still expect penalties afterwards, but hopefully this time Josh Rose is not going to convey anything in here that would warrant a penalty. Like I said, the last race he won on track, but after the race he got a 5-second time penalty, costing him the win and also costing him P2. Wandy picking up a 3-second, also not really looking good for him. He was one of the people that sustained damage and therefore felt back from that problem, from that incident. We got Lufu though going for a move into the chicane, does make it stick beforehand though, so now it's just a battle between Hobbs and Lufu constantly.
We're quite trained here, Brooklyn, that by the kicks hours.
Yeah.
Trained from P5 down to P12.
Lufu though, good performance in P5. The last couple of races he did have some issues. Hydro Leo with a 3-second time penalty as well. Like it was already mentioned, there will be a lot of penalties raining down.
As we had a Ferrari
Yellow
crash
flag,
in the
that's
World
a
Champions.
Ferrari World of Champions crash. We have a Ferrari there, that's Cons.
Missing a lot of his left wing.
His left wing is done. He needs to pit again. He made a mistake. Crucially, not a good mistake to make. We got some overtakes though. Again, Dave Raptors now into P6. Really good performance after the last couple of races. They are side by side though. Lufu now going up the inside, which turns into the outside, into the hairpin. Dave Raptors keeping it as tight as possible for him.
We have Subby
And they
crashing
are
out of
making
turn 2.
it again. They're going side by side. They're done with it. Lufu got the move done. Looking good, looking good. We got some good racing going on track. Dave now weaving around a bit. What was that?
That will not be appreciated by the drivers behind, I can tell you that much.
And also by the stewards. You are only allowed to make one defensive move.
And one move back.
And one move back. Exactly. That is demanded by the rules. But yeah, we got this quite exciting battle for P5 currently, as we are watching this. Of course, we got some drivers behind.
This is quite a big train, as mentioned before, going for all the way from P5 down to, what is it, P12.
Yeah, we got somebody saying though, subtitle just said, alright, just put me in tier 2. With the way he's driving, he wouldn't probably do anything in tier 2 either. As spinning out and crashing is going to cost time. And we got a bit of contact, it seems. There was not a crash. It was a bit of a weave though from Ondra, seemingly having a problem.
Catching a spin.
Sub now in the pits again. Ooh, oh, we got some overtaking going through a car.
That'll definitely be looked at in the steward's room.
Oh yeah, it will, if reported, of course. Nothing will be looked at if it's not reported, unless it's a manual retirement, which we do not like to see at all.
As it ruins racing because people can't overtake down the straights.
Yeah. And
So
it
we have a
happened a lot
driver
of times before.
in the pit lane, but that is Subby, okay.
Yeah, Sub is in the pit lane, he's coming out, he's now... Actually, I think he's lapped now. by all the cars. Yeah. He has been lapped by everybody up to P12? Yeah, P12.
Lufu getting a really bad 3-second penalty for corner cutting or extending the track too much.
Just a nice little...
When the fight is this close with all the drivers around him, that'll lose him a lot of positions.
Yeah, of course, people are pushing the track limits to the maximum. As you can see right here in this wonderful shot that we've just seen, everybody is just pushing to make sure to squeeze out every single millisecond of this track that they can. Of course, mistakes like the one that Hop just made is going to cost him a little bit of time and, of course, a little bit of pace. As now Dave Raptors is right on his tail with the DRS open, goes in with a good amount of battery, does go side by side. Is he going to make the move on Lufu as well? No, he is not, but he does make the move on Hopstick and therefore moves himself up into P6 and provisionally P5 due to the penalty that Lufu just has gotten. We got Hydra in the pit lane. We got a lot of movement on track so far. Subby retired.
Pit lane.
Into the pits, and Sub just left the session as well. Like we just said, not something we like to see, and as he did that before, it will be a harsher penalty now. And of course, an absurd amount of penalty points. Like I said, it's not something we like to see. Magic's picking up a 3-second time penalty. Could get spicy in the end, of course, with the positions and everything, but we don't like to see that either. But yeah, no. When you retire in the pit lane, you throw out a yellow flag, making it impossible to make any overtakes into those yellow flags, and therefore ruining the racing for everybody else in those crucial moments.
It's only special occasions we allow it in case of maybe drivers getting hurt in real life or being sick and starting feeling bad,
I mean,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
personal emergencies are something else, or of course game disconnects, for example, if the game obviously disconnects you. But yeah, we got now the top 4 are pitting apart from Bran. Bran stays out for another lap on those hard tires. Is that going to bite him in the latter stages? Of course, the gaps now, Lufu making it quite easily past each and every one of them, but their tires not on the same level.
What I want to see is where's Mikas compared to the drivers now?
Mikas is going to be
ahead of them.
Mikas has been put ahead of all of them.
Oh no,
he made the undercut work. He's behind Parker. He did get the pace to make the undercut work, but are his tires degraded to the point where he's not going to be able to make it to the end of the race with the same amount of pace the people that now boxed have?
But the thing is, if you can say it in DRS, we saw it. We didn't see with Laval yesterday, but I saw with Laval yesterday. He has a provisional win whilst boxing lap 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So the tires, they can last with pace, because at some point, even the drivers on current hard, they will hit a sort of cliff. Well, we'll just equal out the pace again.
But we are seeing something else that is quite important. Josh Rose is now losing time. He's not close enough anymore to have DRS. So Josh Rose is going to drop back a little bit. He needs to pull out something out of his repertoire to actually get back into the DRS and make sure that he's able to keep being with the pack and maybe keep getting onto a podium, as provisionally he is not close to it. Brando still out on those hard tires. He's really hoping for a safety car to just solidify a win here. The other guys, yeah, we got Hops pitting now.
Hops coming out in P14, but he's on the mediums. He wants to make them last 16 laps.
Yeah, we got some people pitting. Okay, we got people on the hards in the front 5 on 18 and 17 laps completed.
I will say Meowslayer and Andra, they're stretching those mediums a while.
Yeah, they are, and they have gained some positions from it, but of course there could be a safety car coming, and that could save their race, and they would probably even be able to swap onto soft tires, having way better pace throughout the remainder of the race. The length that these tires are onto is crazy.
The hards, they can last the entire race, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but the mediums? 17 laps already.
They're definitely stretching it a lot. The pace drop-off will be a lot by now. So we have Parker and Mika swapping once again. Just a precision at this point, down that back straight.
Yeah, let's go back over to none. Of course, no, wait, actually. Let's go over to penalties.
Harris in the fastest
Not to show with the 16-second time penalty, not looking good for him, though. He is definitely going to drop down every single position that he's made up so far, because a 10-second time penalty for speeding is quite hard to get rid of in CRF. He really
Of
needs
course,
to
at the
be
start
able
of
to
the game, you used to be
prove.
able to serve a 10-second in 5 seconds, but that has been fixed now.
Yeah.
There's a bit of tapping going into the chicane here. But it seems they all made it out just fine. As actually Mikas now goes for a move.
No,
No, that's not Mikas, that is
that's
Parker.
Parker. Parker making the move on Meow Slayer. Of course, I'm swapping back to the wrong positions.
So now Mikas will probably go for a move into the hairpin. As actually, he gets head into the braking zone.
He does
And
get
just
ahead.
Meowslayer cannot do anything about it with those old mediums.
Magic's
As
retired from the
Magix
race
is
in
retired
the pit lane as well. Seems like his race is over today as well.
Will that cause some issues now that this group is heading up to turn into the main straight?
We will be able to see if it is going to cause an issue. Let's go on board. Nope, Dave Raptors is going into the pits. Modern Chicken is still there. So far, so good. They are not going to make any overtakes. We got Mikas, Parker, Meow Slayer. There we go. There is an overtake. And Senior Ghost will get a penalty if there is if that overtake has been completed under the yellow flags. And he will get a penalty for it.
I can confirm my end is not that good anymore.
Your end?
Yep. The Discord stream is not having a fun time.
Yeah, of course not. It's always I'm always able to quickly restart it without even tapping out.
And now it is good, thank you.
Yeah, I know. But it is not looking good for the people that are in front. Ghost doesn't seem to have picked up a penalty. Looks okay. Dave Rapt is now
he just died
saying,
at the end of the yellow flags.
screw this game. I'm done retiring. Not really something you'd like to see. But of course, can happen.
A lot of drivers not liking this game.
Yeah, the game itself is not really that good.
He's saying Jamie's car blocks the pit lane.
And
Yes, of
we have,
course.
yeah, we have another impact from somebody. Mika's moving up into P3. Modern Chicken now gets the lead of the race. His pit stop was early enough. Is his pace still there, though? That's the question. At the moment, looking at the timetable, looks different. Now, Jamie's car, who just retired, has blocked the pit lane. And there we see the reason why this rule is enforced. Yeah, no, that's something we absolutely despise. We now had 3 races, the last 3 races.
That's Lufu has retired in the pit lane.
Lufu has retired in the pit lane as well.
As we keep saying, we don't like it, but people still do it.
Yeah.
Also, there's still a long way to go. There's still a lot that can happen with safety cars and stuff.
Yeah. No, shambolic. Shambolic. At least Dave is still going. He is still in P13 with quite a huge gap, though. He is now, with the gap, equipped like somebody that had damage in the early hours of the race. We got a Mercedes 1-2 at this very moment, and this will be the way that it's going to be for quite a long while if they are working together with one another. We do have a move lined up, though, from Senior Ghost on to Mikas. They're quite close to one another. Senior Ghost tries to send it down into turn 1, not able to make it stick quite well. Meow Slayer now pitting, also something that you gotta watch out for. Not really looking that good. Senior Ghost stays behind.
See, I wonder if Parker will just try and stick behind Chicken for, well, as long as he can to make sure that nobody else can pass him.
Yeah, of course, Chicken, I think, has a 3 second time penalty. Let me... Yeah,
He does indeed.
does have a 3-second time penalty, so he might be able to get that removed afterwards if he is able to provide evidence that he was wrongfully pushed off. But other than that, I think this penalty does not look good. But yeah, we go on to the next lap in a second. Lap 23 of 35 is
As I'm
going to be completed.
currently looking at a clip that Lufu sent in the...
Tier 1 chat, yeah, I see it as well. I just haven't looked at it yet.
The Red Bull, because of Dave being blocked by his teammate, I think, Lufu just completely stopped in the pit lane because of other cars, because of somebody retiring in the pit lane.
Yeah, that's something that we do need to force our hands around a bit tighter. We gotta move
As we
though
have
on
Ghost going to
Mikas.
move.
Ghost on the inside. Mikas now on the inside. Are they going to make it cleanly through? Yes, they are. Ghosts has the better line and is done with that overtake. He made it stick. He's now in P3. Chicken now going to get swallowed up by each and every driver behind him.
No help from his teammate whatsoever. As I have reports that Wandy's game crashed.
Yeah, 1D's game just crashed, as it seems. At least that's...
Game just throwing out curveball after curveball in this.
Yeah, we got another overtake now
existence.
by Ghosts. Mika's slots right through as well, so Chicken made a strategy work in the early parts of the races, but would have needed a safety car.
Modern Chicken just falling back more and more and more as Brand gets 3 seconds. That'll hurt his charge for the win. As he is on the mediums and he would have a better traction right now.
Yeah, but of course the tires are going to degrade over time. And track position in this very case, I think, was a bit more important. Mika's pit stop was actually probably the most perfect one. He is able to keep pace with Senior Ghost in front of him, also due to the DRS, but that's the most important part. You need to have the DRS.
I will say, we've hit kind of a stalemate in this race so far. Field being spread out a lot, so there's not as much action anymore. Just kind of DRS overtakes that just happen because DRS is how it is.
Yeah, the race has settled down quite a lot. Also quite a big amount of gaps. We got Cons retiring in the pit lane. Not something we'd like to see, but now, of course, remember, we got overtakes.
Will this hurt Mikas now, as he's right behind Senior Ghosts?
We see he is, and...
No, I don't think it would have.
No, he's still not making it stick. Ondra, though, in the points now. Quite a good performance for somebody that has reserved not that many races here this season.
Well, given that people are retiring, will he be looked at as a potential new driver?
Possibly. Oh, and he now gets another 3-second time penalty added on to his total.
The top 4, all our penalties so far.
And it's good that it is that way. It is good for each and every single one of them. They are trying to get it done. A little bit of a lockup by Josh Rose, who's now back in the pack again. Chicken really falling out of every bit of pace that he had right before. He made the undercut work, but it was a extremely big undercut, which means he was not able to do anything about each and every driver now passing him. Of course, there is a nice little gap between Heider Leo and him, but that gap is going to diminish. Is Heider Leo able to make it up to P6 with that gap remaining, of course? 8 laps to go in this race. Don't know how I've gotten to 5.
Sometimes math just ain't mathing.
Ondra has now gotten past F50, who will be getting a good couple of positions back due to the penalties in front of him. So he just needs to play it safe. That could be a huge W for him throughout this race. The quality in qualifying was good from him, but his race pace has been dropping off quite a bit. Of course, we gotta remember, he is a controller player. Usually people on controller are a bit slower due to the fine input of the wheel missing.
Yeah, I was actually seeing the Twitch chat that Luke was saying he got stuck in the pit for 15 seconds.
Yeah, stuck in the pit lane for 15 seconds, and that's probably with the car of Jamie.
That is what I'm suspecting. So, that is not a reason why we don't like to see it.
Yeah.
A lot of good reasons, but sadly, people still do it.
Yeah, Josh Ross now getting past Mikas. Mikas now more on a recovery drive than anything, as his tires are starting to drop off quite massively. We got not that many overtakes now lined up at the moment. We still got to fight for P1. It's still a train of 4 cars. It's still about a second between all of them.
Could really spice up in the end, I feel.
Let us see how much time between... Yeah, 1D quite far away. Sausage Joe afterwards. Yeah, not looking good for each and every one of them. That is up to 25 seconds away. But also the big gap between Heider Leo and Modern Chicken is something to be concerned about.
Yeah, but to be fair, Heidelberg Leo hasn't been catching that much, but he's not also kind of old, so maybe he has hit a cliff.
Yeah, seems like it. It should still be faster than chickens, but seems like at the moment it isn't. So far it is looking kinda
Mick has
good,
getting
though.
3 seconds.
Also, F50 getting 3 seconds. Hops is now in the position to get a lot of places back. Hops having to do a recovery drive. We got a lot of penalties here. Andro with a 16 seconds. Sausage Joe got rid of his 10 seconds, so only has 6 seconds remaining now.
Hydro at 9.
Hydro with 9.
Getting
Yeah,
past a
this
50.
yeah, this not really looking too good for the drivers with penalties.
Now, Mikas being in a top 4 fight getting a penalty, this will be huge for his chance of the win.
I mean, the win, yes, but he probably will keep that P4 from the looks of it. As the people behind have more or less the same penalties. The fight will go on though, and the fight will get more intense towards the end. I think Senior Ghost just wants to stay behind Parker to make sure that he is not the one that's getting the DRS on the last straight on the last lap, or Parker wants to give him that spot quite soon, and he does, but Josh Rose takes the next spot with him as well, so that means Parker is now down into P3, slotting in
Josh
right.
gets a horrible chicane.
But does that mean that, nope, Parker is not able to do anything about it because of the DRS that he is now missing? But of course this lap is now the lap that matters for DRS. As long as he keeps it, he is able to continue onwards. But he seems to be dropping it back a bit more than he probably would like to. Josh Rose having a little bit more pace. But then again, Senior Ghosts also with a lot of pace.
Sausage Joe's left the session.
Yeah,
I'm guessing he got kicked by the game or something.
Yeah, or he had enough. Could also be the case.
Out as the lapping won this AI.
Yep, and that is allowed. The only part where you're allowed to overtake a car that is ghosted through the car itself is when it's blue flagged.
Now, I will just say, Sausage Joe and Wandy getting DC'd and crashing, that is not a good look from the game.
Yeah, not looking too good for the game. Sadly, it is the way it is.
As Ghost now gets 3 seconds.
Ghost getting 3 seconds is a crucial point in this Grand Prix. He
Wait,
can keep the pace up.
To move? No, he doesn't.
He doesn't need to. As long as Ghost is in front of him, he's getting slipstream and everything. That's all he needs. Now it's just a race that is strategic as anything. We got a bit of a move though from Hydra to Hops. Hops conceding the position to Hydra. Will slow him down as well. He is on the mediums. They are starting to slowly but surely fade away a little bit. Weirdly enough, the Heart's still on good pace. Even the ones that Mikas is wearing right now. Yeah,
Mikas, I would say he probably had the optimal pit window.
Yeah, he made up a lot of positions after being in a DRS train that wasn't helping him out with the way that is I can't find the words. Just not able to talk today.
He was being slightly held up compared to what his pace was early in the race by that other train.
Yeah.
But the undercut worked massively for him.
But of course, Josh Rose getting a massive amount of points. Modern Chicken losing his third spot in the championship at the moment.
We'll see. Even though Josh doesn't have to do anything to win, basically.
It's
always a little bit sweeter to win on the track. Oh, it's a little bit more of a nice feeling to win on the track than based on penalties.
Yeah, it is a nicer feeling, but you gotta think smart about it in the long run. A win is a win, right? A win on penalties is a win. Yeah, that's basically my point.
Yeah.
The race has calmed down
keeping
so
up a grand
much.
again.
Yeah, Modern Chicken has been keeping up a good amount. Trying to catch that lead back up again. Of course, he will lose the lead right as of this moment. He will lose P3 in the championship.
Yes, he will.
No, P2.
P2, yeah. He will
P2.
lose
He
P2
is P2
to
currently. Josh
Mikas,
Rose is
I
currently
think.
first. We got Josh Rose making that overtake stick on Ghosts. And now the only thing he needs to do is show his pace. Hopefully he has enough tires left.
Because after this race, I think, based on it not being the best performance for the Ferrari team, I would say Alpine will probably move up to the constructors' lead at this point if the race finishes as it is now.
If it does, it will.
Because we have P4 and P8 for the Alpines, with Cons retiring for Ferrari and Brand being P5.
Yeah, we are able to constantly just keep it on the leaders of the race. Still a four-way battle for P1. More likely not to be a win for Ghosts and Mikas though. But Parker and Josh Rose are still fighting it out on track. Parker now crucially needs to get away from Ghosts. Parker crucially needs
Parker's
to make
going
that
for a move on
overtake stick,
Ghosts,
and he
and he
does
gets
make the
ahead.
move. He gets ahead. Ghost says, yep, nope, you can get the win, kid. Get it. And he just lets him by. Now we're going back onto the straight. Parker getting out of the DRS zone, but luckily, because the DRS detection point is before the hairpin appears, he has the DRS, so that means he will stay in that DRS range. Josh Rose needs to pull away as much as he can, but not over push to push the boundaries of the track too much. Leo making a move on Andra, even before the chicane. Looking good from him there. Now Parker needs to kick it up another gear. We got 2 laps remaining of this Grand Prix.
Now, given that Parker got past Senior Ghost, Mick has also been looking to overtake Senior Ghost as well, so he maybe can get that podium.
Emotions are running high in Tier 1 chat, in Twitch chat, and also on track, as we could see, I think the first ever win of Parker. I'm not so sure if he ever had a win in CRF, but he is looking quite good on the pace side of things. Josh Rose locking up crucially. This could be the mistake that invites Parker into the window. No, it does not. Does he get a better exit though? Seems like he does not. We are starting to approach the last lap of the race. Josh Rose now going to none on his ERS to keep as much battery saved as he can. Parker now crucially really close to get that win now. Parker giving it everything now. DRS is something that is important out of this stage. Is he going to make the move through the first DRS zone? Who knows? Would it be smart? I don't think so. He needs to keep as close as possible now to make that overtake crucially into that last chicane at the Wall of Champions. But we are not crowning a champion today. We are crowning a winner. But will it be Parker or will it be Josh Rose? They're fighting fearlessly.
It will all come down to the long back straight.
No penalties on Josh Rose's or Parker's side. Now, crucially, 3/10. Josh Rose gives it up. He spun around. He made a mistake. And that is going to give Parker the win for sure on this straight. Parker now, DRS open, going full throttle, dumping all of his DRS. He's making that move stick, and crucially, Parker is going to be going over the line as the winner of the 2024 CRF1 Season 9 Canadian Grand Prix, with Josh Rose close behind in second. What an end to the race! Josh Rose bottled.
He bottled it big time with losing the rear and the apex of the hairpin.
As we still have some people finishing up on the track, we got now.
God.
Yeah. A huge pileup of cars. It's at least a good little look to just watch Meowslayer in the background going over the line.
And now we're just
And boom, another person
AI.
into the cars there.
That's one actually happens, yeah.
Yeah, Hobbs' car doesn't like the way that it's going right now. He says no on track. And he's made it past. Senior Ghost, crucially, and Hydra both looking like that. Dave Raptors now going over the line, making it a P13. Good performance from Parker. Parker's got a win. Parker is P1. Parker has done it. And this is it. We got a little crash from Dave Raptors there.
I don't think any of us really expected Parker to be the winner of today's race.
Going into this race, no. After qualifying, we saw a good amount of pace. But after the first couple of laps, we saw that he had the pace. And he did do it. He finished the race in first spot. Josh is going to be happy. Parker, of course, is going to be ecstatic about this. Good little podium for Josh Rose still. But this must feel like an L that he has to take today. This race, if he wouldn't have bottled it at the end, he would have had a fighting chance. But it's a win for Parker. Of course, we got another podium for at least one of the two Polish people on this league. Today, it's Ghosts. First time that we did not have a double Polish podium in this season. As we quickly need to go to the incidents. This time I am thinking about it. Just look at all these juicy incidents. We got quite a lot. Okay, that is done. We got P1 Parker. What a performance from him. P2 Josh Rose. And of course Senior Ghost rounding out the top 3. Then we got Mikas, Bran, Modern Chicken, Hydra Leo, Hops, F50 and Hydra rounding out the points position with Ondra, Meow Slayer, Dave Raptors, Sausage Joe and Wandy finishing out the top 15. And then we have Lufu. We have Sub retiring. We have a good couple of retirements. Not a good look for them.
Usually Cons retiring.
Cons also retiring. That is going to be a favorite with less points than Optimal for the championship. But yeah, this has been CRF1. This has been the Canadian Grand Prix. Yeah.
And has been an exciting Canadian Grand Prix, if I do say so myself.
It has been an exciting one. It has been an exciting one. Tomorrow, of course, we will see everyone again right here on this channel for CRF3, the Canadian Grand Prix of that tier. Then next week, we are moving over on to the next track of the calendar on Saturday on tier 2. Yeah, I'm just stalling out to quickly look at the calendar because I forgot. So we got Silverstone next week. Cool. That's good. That's always a track that provides really good racing. So yeah, we got Silverstone next week, Saturday for CRF2, same time again. Then on Sunday, we got Tier 1 again on Silverstone. And of course, Tier 3 on Monday next week on Silverstone. So see you guys then. Thank you, each and every single person that we have right here watching this race right now, for making all of this possible. And of course, we cannot forget each and every single lovely sponsors of ours. Beginning with Dubby, Rogue Energy, 3D Rap, NordVPN, Fiverr, Zdax, Pitlane Prince, Saley, Moser, and of course newly joined, but not the newest right now. No, actually it is the newest right now. It's it's only a week old, that's what I meant. Track Titan. Thank you each and everyone for watching. Thank you each and everyone for helping us out and making sure that CRF is yeah, as good as it is. Well, that's the thank yous from my part. I'm going to give the last word over to Daredevil.
Yeah, as I'd also like to mention, if you want to join us, there's obviously the 4 parallelograms below the stream. With one being to the donation space, which way you can donate, which we obviously enjoy, but we aren't going to force you to do it. It's just something you can do if you want to. Then we also have to our ACC Discord if you want to join some of our ACC races, because that is mandatory if you want to join them. Then we also have to our ACC SimGrid paints, where you can sign up to all of these races. And if you do want to join these F1 races, you also have the green one, which is to our F1 Discord, where you can then do the sign up and then you can be sorted into the appropriate tier.
Yeah, we got 3
now,
tiers.
I'd also like to thank all of our beautiful viewers, and I'll also say I will see all of you guys tomorrow for the tier 3 race, where I'll be joined by none other than Lowell Fusion once again.
Ah, good old Matt. Good old Matt. Yeah, that's the CRF1 Canadian Grand Prix. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow or next week at the same time.